I'm ready.
Okay, so I'm very happy that we have Russell Stannard with us, one of expert talks organized the Creating Classroom group. Actually, in a media and learning conference last December, it was a great opportunity. I just grabbed him and I said we have to have an expert talk. eTwinning here, and I'm very glad that he accepted my invitation. I suppose I know that many of you know him, and you know the site with all these great tutorials that he's creating. I'm sure that he has many things to share with us about the tools that you can use with your students in your projects. So I pass the floor to you. You start, Russell, and we are all ears to hear what you have to say. So thank you very much once again.
Okay, lovely, and thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm a big fan of using these tools, Cisco WebEx or Adobe Connect, Illuminate. I think they give fantastic opportunities to contact with teachers that normally can only do that through traveling, and so it's a real opportunity. So thank you very much, and it's lovely to see so many people from so many different countries. I'm going to do a very practical presentation. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and then go straight in to showing you some tools that I use for sharing and for collaboration. And it's very practical. I'm going to open my computer and show you exactly everything I do. Also, one thing, the whole presentation and all links at the end that are provided to help you, everything, I've already uploaded it, and I will share the link with you at the end, so you can have the whole presentation, and also all the links will work. Just really quickly to just tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Stannard. I run a website called eTwinningvideos.com, and that website is now, I suppose, sort of become quite well known in the world of, particularly in the world of language teaching, but actually now just in the world of education. And the website provides free help videos to help teachers to learn how to use technologies. And what you actually see, if you go to my website and you wanted to use Blogger, or you wanted to use podcasting or iTunes or any tool, you can go and watch some videos where I show you how exactly to use those tools. And there are about 350,000 teachers who use that website every year. Nearly all of them are language teachers, but more and more are teaching other subjects. Apart from running the website, I'm also a lecturer at the University of Warwick, where I teach on the master's degree program in technology in language teaching, and I'm also what they call a NILE associate trainer. That's the Norwich Institute of Language Education, where I run lots of courses and do training, etc. So I've got kind of two part-time jobs, and then the time I work with my website. And I also run a couple of columns. One is the English Teaching Professionals called Web Watcher, and I also write in another magazine called Teacher Trainer. So that's just a little bit about me. Very quickly, this is the website, Teacher Training Videos. Everything is free. You just go on there. If you want to learn any technology, to do a podcast, to use Moodle, to use iTunes, go on there, look for videos and just watch them. And videos will help you to use technology in your language teaching. So let's start. What I do today is I've got sort of 1 hour or about 50 minutes, and I'm going to show you about 4 or 5 really good tools, and hopefully I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I've used them. I'm working 2 ways. I'm going to look first at just sharing, that is producing content and sharing it quickly. And then I'm going to look at collaboration, students making content together. So we're looking at sharing and we're looking at collaboration. And when we look at sharing and collaboration, we'll try to talk about a few things. First of all, what right tool for the right job? Any tools that seem to do the same things, but you can make decisions based on what is best in that moment. Number two, whenever you use a tool, think carefully about the activity. It's not the tool. At the end of the day, it's the ideas, how you use it in the class. And then number three, think about privacy. You should become totally paranoid about privacy, but just think about whatever you're doing on the internet, what information are the students putting up, are they using email addresses? If they're using email, encourage them to create a dummy account, a dummy email account that they use for signings. I have an account that I just for simply signing into things. So let's get started. The first tool I want to show you is a really simple one, and I hope you all know this tool. But if you don't, well, fantastic. It's called Vocaroo, and it's one of the very first websites that I began to use for audio recordings. Vocaroo is maybe one of the simplest technologies on the internet, and I'm just showing you it now. So I'm going to click on the share button, and I'm going to share the desktop of my computer. Now, hopefully, I'm going to click on the here. This is Vocaroo. When you come onto Vocaroo, there is really nothing that you can do. It just is that simple. Click to record. And so what I've done a lot with this record system is get my students to do recordings at home that they send to me. So I might do a lesson, and in the lesson, actually in the class, I'm doing a speaking activity with my students or a discussion. I'm doing practice in the class, but then get the students to do the recordings at home. Now, obviously, I'm working in language teaching, and you could use this in other fields as well, because students could use it to record reflections, reviews after the class. They could give feedback after a class, etc. But I use it a lot in language teaching, where I'm trying to encourage students' fluency. So I've done a lesson today, and the lesson, perhaps we've been talking about our best friend and how we met our best friend and what things we like doing with our best friend, and when we first met for the first time, or when was the last time we met. We would do a topic around best friends, and then homework is for the students to come home, to come to this website and do a recording where they talk about their best friend. Now, if they click on this button here, say for example it was a Spanish class, okay? Click, I've done a lesson, I come home, I click on the button here, it connects immediately, and now I can start speaking in Spanish and say, bueno, yo tengo un amigo que es muy especial que se llama Ricardo, le dije cuando estudiaba en la escuela aquí en Inglaterra, blah, blah, blah. And I do the recording, I finish the recording, and now I listen and check that it worked. I've just listened to that. That was absolutely perfect. And now I can click here to save. So it's so simple to use the tool. Just click on one button, do recording. If you're not happy, you can do it again. And if you're happy, you click here. And what I love about this website is you've got lots of options. Number one, you right-click and download the recording onto your computer. And the incredible thing is it downloads as an MP3 file. So immediately you've got a very small file from the internet that you share. Another thing you can do is you could embed the recording into a blog. So for example, if I click here and allow me to copy that code, I could then go to a blog and paste that code into a blog. Therefore, somebody could refer to that recording simply from my blog. So I could embed the recording as well. And number three that I could do is if I want to, instead of downloading it or copy into a blog or into a Moodle or into Blackboard, I can simply click on this button here and send an email. I put my name, I put the name of the teacher that I'm sending it to, I put who it's from, I put a note, for example, my Spanish homework. I have to put letters here, PCW, always give you different letters here, and click on send. The teacher receives a recording. So it's a really quick way of sharing recordings. Now, I'm a big fan of audio recordings because I do a lot of work with reflection, trying to get my students to reflect on what they've learned in a lesson, etc. I prefer them to do those reflections audio recordings rather than as written reflections. So even when I do teacher training, I might ask the teachers afterwards, right, okay, when you try out something in your class, I would like you to send me a recording and tell me how did it go, what did you try, did it work, what didn't work. But I ask the teachers not to do that writing, but to send me an audio recording. I've done quite a few years of research or testing, experimenting with Vocaroo at the University of Warwick. I've been really, really successful with a particular tool. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen and come back. Can I check with everyone if you can just write in the window? Do you follow that okay? Was that clear? Can you just write into the chat window so I can just check that everyone could follow me? Yeah, okay? Because see, sometimes when you share the screen, it creates a bit of a delay or something like that, and sometimes it can be a little bit difficult. Okay? Great, good. So Vocaroo, the reason I'm emphasizing Vocaroo is it was one of the very first tools that I used for audio recording. It really is a very simple tool to use, and it's a nice way to start. If you want to begin to do audio recordings, then it can be a really good way to start. Okay, I'm going to show you another tool now, okay? The second tool that I'm going to show you is one that it's Vocaroo. As I said, it's really easy. Just click the button, you get it as an email, you can download it and embed it, and you can also, as I said, save it as an MP3 file. You can do recordings of up to 5 minutes long. Now, I'm just going to show you one more very quickly that's connected to Vocaroo, okay? I've included it in the links at the end. It's very similar to Vocaroo, but it allows you to do one more thing, and that is to upload a picture and then add your voice to the picture and then share it on the internet. So again, I'm going to share the screen, look at my desktop again. This is just going to close Vocaroo down, and the tool that I'm going to show you now is called PhotoBabble. So let's see if I can just get PhotoBabble up onto the screen. I've got it here. Right. This is called PhotoBabble. Now I've already logged into my PhotoBabble account, and I'm using PhotoBabble for quite a long time, and it's a tool that I really like to show to my students, and I think this works really well. My students are actually teachers, so obviously most of the time I'm teacher training. I only do very small amounts of actually language teaching now, unfortunately. Most of the time I'm teaching teachers. But this is a really interesting tool because one thing I really like about this tool is it's just really reliable. It hasn't let me down. It's been a tool that's solid. It works. I've got lots of recordings on here, and I've had a lot of fun with it. All you do is you create a PhotoBabble. That is, you upload a picture, you add your voice to that picture, and then you share it. So it's great for descriptions. It's great for talking about holidays. It's great for talking about a place, an interesting place. It's great again for language speaking type activities because obviously. But it doesn't have to be. It could, for example, if it was a historical picture, and then someone had to tell the story behind that picture. It could be a piece of architecture that someone's got to describe or talk about. It could basically be anything that where you want your students to talk about a picture or describe that picture. I'm just going to show you how it works because it is really simple to use. It's a free tool as well. You can create new, and that you need to do is to actually browse to find a file or a picture that you want to upload onto the screen. So I'm just going to just put one up here and click on open. This file is quite small, hopefully. I want to encourage my students to actually upload really small files. Now, because we're running the screen share, it might be a little bit, and there it is. The picture's now uploaded. This is a picture of me. Actually, funny enough, if you look in the picture, there I am presenting in Vocaroo. I remember this particularly well because it was the first time that I presented at TalkTools France. And in fact, there's a few people in the audience, and I can just see even from the back who they are, who have sort of become my friends over the years. And so if I want to now, I can just simply, I can the name of the picture, if I want to. I simply click on this button here now, and it'll ask me to connect to my Flash player. I just click on that button there, and then I can actually just record myself. Simple as that. It really is such a simple tool for me to use. Now, I'm slightly worried about doing this because I think with this one, if I do this, it may, let's give it a bash, it may sometimes it turns off the sound on screen on the actual what you and I are doing at the moment, which is desktop sharing. It's not always a good idea. I might not be able to do it. Let me just have a look, see if I can. Let's just have a quick play. So we click on the record button there. It looks like it's not going to allow me to do it while I'm screen sharing. But you would simply click on the record button there, start talking, press stop, and done. You don't have to do anything else. And then afterwards you can share out your recordings. Simple tool to use. Let me just see if I can, because it's just been a little bit funny. Okay, so just go back a minute and see. This is always the trouble when you're actually sharing your desktop. Sometimes it's very difficult to actually do the things live because sometimes it interferes. But it just open up a photo bubble. You've seen how easy it is to do one, and it really is that easy. If you click on one just to show you what it looks like. When the recording, all is the picture, and then underneath a play button for you to listen to that particular recording. There is nothing else to it. It really is a simple tool to use. I've done my first recordings a long time ago. If I just click on here, I click on some of the recordings I did many years back. This one was when I was traveling in China. I just click on that button there, and you can listen to me talking. One thing as well about doing these, if you're going to do them with students, you don't have to always have the students talking on their own. You could, for example, make it a dialogue. It could be a picture. One student's asking questions about the picture. Okay, when was this picture taken? Where taken? Who is the woman? What were you doing there? Blah, blah. So it could be kind of a question where one person's asking the question and one person's answering. We've also got exactly the same thing. We can embed this recording. We can just copy this link and we can embed that recording into a blog or into, for example, it could be Moodle or Blackboard, or it could be a wiki. You can actually just take the code and embed those recordings that you make. I make that point again. I've used these tools a lot, both originally with students and now with teacher trainers. And often what I do is encourage the students to work in collaboration. If I've got, say, 30 students in the class, and everybody of one of them to do a photo babble, then the result is I've got 30 photo babbles to listen to, and often that can be far too much in terms of feedback. But what can be a good idea is to get the students to work in pairs or groups of 3, and they discuss a picture or they ask questions about a picture, etc. But it's a really easy tool to use, and it's a very, very simple tool to use as well. To mention one thing, be useful to remember. If I just over here to Google, and I'm just going to quickly see if I can open up just going to click on, I'm just going to write into Google the computers. And just to remind you, if you use PhotoBabble and you want your students to upload pictures and they're looking pictures from the internet, if you use Google Images, 2 very special things that lots of teachers don't often realize. Number one, if you click on search tools, you can restrict the size of the picture and say only pictures that are 200 pixels by 100 pixels, for example. So it's very small, because you don't want the students to be uploading pictures onto PhotoBabble that are enormous. You can also get the students, if you want to, actually, they can choose the type of picture. You can tell them, well, only use clip art, because clip art is normally a lot smaller, or even, for example, line drawings. You can do that. So you can restrict the type of images that you want your students to actually use. So if you're going to allow them to take pictures from the internet, then it's a really good idea to do that. Now, another thing that you can do is that you can click here and you can actually go to what is called advanced search. And if you want to be really careful with your students, you can tell them they should only use pictures that are what we call free to use or share. In other words, they're copyright free. free. I don't know if you realize that you can do that, but it's actually a very simple tool. It's just a little button. If I come back to the Google Images again, just to show you, it's a simple little button. It's just here, and you click on that and just go to Advanced Search. And in Advanced Search, you can come down below here and just tell them, right, usage rights, where you use pictures that are copyright free. Now, this helps because it means they're not infringing copyright. They can then upload those pictures into Photobabble, add voices to them, and they can do that safely. If you click the Advanced Search now, and many pictures are copyright free. There's no problem. It won't restrict you. You're still going to have millions and millions of pictures related to that topic. So if you didn't know those things, they're really good if you're going to use something like Photobabble. Choose the size, and I normally tell them to go for exactly 200 or 300 pixels maximum picture is a really good size, and it won't take a long time for them to upload the picture. They can also choose color. So if you wanted to only use, for example, yellow pictures, then you could even do that. Just put the size back to any size. You can actually restrict even the images that you to use, etc., etc. It's a very powerful tool that you can work with here. Okay, so all these pictures have got a bit of yellow in them. Now, I don't know if you knew about that, but that works really well with using Photobabble, teaching your students a little bit about copyright and about how they can look for images by using the search tool here and using the advanced search here as well, and be really useful. Come back and stop sharing. We've just covered about 20 minutes. Anyone got any questions about any of that I've just showed you? Photobabble and how to search for pictures. Is that okay? If you want to find any of this help, everything on my website, I'll show it to you as well. Anyone got any questions? Yeah? Good. Obviously, sorry, I know maybe not all of you are language teachers. I don't know what kind of backgrounds you've got. Obviously, my background is language teaching, so everything I'm doing is always thinking about language teaching. So, no, you do need an account to log in to Photobabble. You do need an account, of course, to make any use of the Google Images. And you don't need any account to log into my website. If you want to watch videos about how to search for pictures or how to use Photobabble or how to use Vocaroo, then they're all free. Yeah, completely free. Incredible. And I have, as you saw, I've got many recordings now, and it's never limited me. I love it so much. Other people see that it could be used for other subjects as well. I'm really sorry that I can only help really talk about languages because that is my specialization. I'm going to move on to another tool now. This tool I really like, and this is a slightly different tool. I know some of you will probably know a tool called Woolwisher. Actually, it's called Padlet now, and it's very much a kind of what we call an electronic corkboard. That is, you create a corkboard, and students can share and display their information in corkboard. They can upload links, they can upload pictures, etc. Okay, I can just see that some of you haven't heard of Woolwisher. Anyway, don't worry, because this is better than Woolwisher. I teach both of them, but I much prefer Lino. I think it's got lots of possibilities. So the idea is it's an electronic corkboard. That is that you create the board, then students can come onto the board and then add up pictures, they can add up links, they can add up video, so they can use it as a kind of collaborative way of information. So, for example, it might be a project. Perhaps your project is for them to find information about the Acropolis. And you might have to go and find some videos and some interesting articles and some interesting pictures and maybe write something as well. Maybe get them to summarize the video, summarize the article, summarize the picture. They're not just putting the information onto the screen or on the cork board, but they're actually also writing about it. That's what I like getting them to do. Not just simply put up a link, but then to say why it's a good link. Up a video, why is it a good video? And that way we can kind of do a group work activity. Now I'm going to show you an example. So I'm going to come back again, sharing my desktop. Okay. I'm just going to have a swig of my beer. I'm drinking a beer here. That's the luxury of you not being able to see me. I've just my dinner, so it's to go with my. So we're on the screen here, and I'm just going to take you now to. Just move back a minute to. Okay, what we're going to look at now is Lino-it. Okay, let me just do that there. Here we are. This is Lino-it. Now I'm going to show you an example first. So I'm going to click on ePortfolio. Lino-it has been around for a long time. Just going to go to some of the screens, just so it looks a bit clearer. Then you can really see what is on the screen. So I'm just going to get, when you open it up, you just have to kind of these windows down. I'll leave it like that for now. I'll leave that one there because we're going to use that. What you can do here is you can see that I've got this kind of, this is one that my students have done about ePortfolios. And it's got different things that the students have put up on their about ePortfolios. But the powerful thing is that I can use this control here to move around the screen, and you'll see that it's actually very big. And there's all sorts of information that my students collaboratively put up onto the screen, including pictures, including links, including writing stuff, including video. And this is one of the big advantages over other systems, that because it has this special viewer, then I can move around and focus in on anything I want on the screen. So this has been produced collaboratively, and I'm just going to show you how, let's see if I can just move that more, just show you how I can kind of make this. I'm just going to go back to my home page. So when you click sign in, to you can just basically, obviously, you can see a list of my actual canvases that I've already produced. And in fact, I created many, many more. When I came on today to use the system, I deleted some because I literally made so many over the time that they were really kind of filling up the page. To create a new canvas, I just click here. Okay, it's free site. I'm going to name, so I'm going to call it my 2014 canvas, because I have to admit I haven't used this year yet. I haven't done training to really make use of it, but certainly a tool that I've made a lot of use of. I can use what canvas I want, so I'll use this one here. And then I can come down and look at my privacy settings, and these are really good. I have a board that only I can see. I have a board that everyone can see. I have a board where everyone can see and also add to that board. So other people to add to my board, I'm just going to allow me to add to it. If I wanted to do a collaborative one, I click here, and then it would be collaborative. And then I can, and I'll kind of come back to this a little bit in a minute. They show this canvas on the docs. I'm just going to say no to that now. I'm not going to allow us to do it, to add things to the board via email, because we can do that. Allow others to copy stickers on the canvas. Well, yes, I'm going to allow that. Doesn't matter. List it publicly. Yes. Now I just click on Create Canvas. With my videos that I've produced to show you how to use this tool, I go into much more detail about all of these settings. But see, now I create the canvas. Now my canvas was collaborative. I could actually share that link with the students, and they could also add to the wall. Now when they do, well, they can click on here and click onto the screen, and they can put something in. Hi, my name is Russell. So you can just simply start writing and post. So if I was going to write about, say we were doing a project about MOOCs, say MOOCs are aimed for on open courses, okay? And then I can post that. So something on the screen, and if I want to move that around, I can do that. If I want to add another sticky, I can just click on it here. A sticky doesn't have to be just, it could be, so imagine if I wanted to show you my website, then I could just copy, paste it in, and just add a link, and that can be a post. So a link can be a post as well. It could be a link with a description. If I add pictures, then I could click here, and I could browse images that I want to add up onto the screen if I wanted to do that. So I can click on desktop here, just quickly find an image that I wanted to add. Now, if it's collaborative, then the students would be doing this all together. So maybe I'm just going to put this image up onto the screen just to show you what I mean. So I'm putting that image onto the screen and move it around. I can add up video. All I need to do is to add a link to a video, etc. So students can build up and work together collaboratively around the project, and they can add their content on. Now, one of the things that I do now, out of interest, is when I get my students, for example, to add a link, I tell them that they must explain why a link is useful. So I wouldn't accept just the link. I then afterwards put them, this is a website because it helps, to use technology. Okay, so imagine if we was about the Acropolis, then I might say, well, explain why that link is useful, explain why you like that picture, explain why we should watch this video. We can do all sorts of things like change the color if we want to use a different color link, etc. We can do a different color for the actual so if you've got students working in groups, one student can be one color, another student can be another color. So there's lots of things you can do with this, and simply builds into a collaborative tool where students can share content. And what I really like is that often when you use these types of tools, the content becomes really messy because there's only this square and all the students are trying to put information onto the screen at the same time. Well, with this you don't have that problem because the students can simply move around from part of the screen that is empty, and then they can go up there, their YouTube video or their Vimeo video, etc. As I said, encourage students, if they add videos or add pictures or add links, to justify their choices. I think it's really important. Otherwise, then what happens is they just simply put content onto a portfolio or onto a system like this, but don't really take care to share things that they've watched and understood, etc. Great for collaborative work, great for getting your students to work together in small groups of, say, 3 or 4 on a particular topic. Great for brainstorming, great simple discussions, because one of the things is you don't have to be adding pictures and video. It could just simply be for adding up discussions and nothing else. It's lots of advantages over using wall width, not just the advantage that I've showed you here. Okay, is one thing, but it's the way that you can add the content onto the site and that what you can write and the size of the screen, it just generally works a lot better than the Padlet. I like Padlet as well, but I much prefer to work with Linoit. Now, another little thing about Linoit, if we just come back, we just take a canvas. So we do that canvas that I've just created there. Oh, sorry, I clicked on the wrong button there, sorry. Just click again. If I go to my canvases, on my canvases, I think there are some settings that can now, if I click my canvases, I can go to some settings, and one of the settings is that I can click, and just click here, I think you set, if I come back here, I think I'm able to share it with groups. So if you create a group, then it's just, as I said, it's a couple of months since using this, but I know you can do that as well, because I've done that. I've got my groups here. Maybe I have to just simply click on my groups and then I tell them what canvas I want to add it to. Or, I mean, I can't remember in this moment how you do that, but you can. Just another way of sharing, and it's in my videos, I apologize because I haven't used this for a little while, is that you can create a group with 5 or 6 students or the whole class in it, and then you can share a canvas with that group, and then all the students can access that. But of course, you don't have to do that anyway. If you just come to your canvases, you can simply, when you come here on your preferences, you can simply set your canvas to be shared by other users, and that way, if you do that, then you can obviously your canvas. Anyone who has got the link will be able to add to your canvas. Remember, when you've got the settings at the beginning, you can set your canvas to be public, and therefore all students can actually access the Canvas if they've got the link, and then they add content onto the Canvas as well. So really simple tool to use. You can, as I said, just come here. You click on Create Canvas and you get a name. And if you come down, you'll see that you've got these settings, and you can click on this one here. Everyone may post stickies. And if you do that, then you are allowing, as long as you share the link, you are allowing students to be able to add to the Canvas if you want to do that. Okay, it's a really nice tool, and the tool that a lot of students have got back to, a lot of teachers have got back to me and said, Russell, that's really good. I didn't know about that one. I'm always using Wisher, and I really like Lino it as well. So it's really worth one that's trying. Just point something out to you, and then I'll come back again. On the website, the I'm showing you, don't, because I'm going to give you a list of the videos at the end. But just in case.
Sorry for that, because there are some questions on in the chat box.
Sorry?
There are some questions about
okay, all right, I'll come back onto the screen, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Right, yes, my advice to you, is obviously for the teacher to log in with their name. So you do need to log in and create your own account. When you create a Linoit, then if you allow it to be public, I don't think you are restricted in terms of the people that can come on and add. As long as they've got the link, they actually come in and add content to it. So you can, if you want to do that. Yeah, if you, I think this is what, let me see if I can answer your question, because I understand what you're trying to say. The problem is I haven't used it for about a month, and I just can't quite remember how you do this. You have got a kind of intermediate way of working. To do that, the students need to be logged in. If students are logged in, you set it so it's only the people in a certain group who add to the Linoit, okay? Now, it's in my videos. I'm just going to come back again and share my screen, and I'll explain what I mean. Okay, try and find it for you. Just go back to sharing my screen. If you go to the, sorry about that, let me just close that window down, and I don't know why that's open, but anyway, let's close. If you go to collaborate and share on my website and come down to the says Linoit and here, you get a whole complete set of videos that show you everything about using Linoit, okay? Because sometimes I forget, I use so many tools, sometimes I forget some of the things. So I show you how to create groups, how to invite members, etc. Way, you do not have to make it completely public, and that way you do know who has written on board, because you've explicitly made it that the students have to be in your group, and then when they write on the board, it shows their name. So I've got 3 levels: totally controlled, no one can add; only invited students can add; or at the end, totally open, complete public. You've got 3 ways of working. I can't quite remember how to do that at the moment, because I haven't done it for about a month. The last time I used this tool actually was in November. I was doing some work with some teachers from Kazakhstan, and I've forgotten very quickly how to create groups. But if you go to these videos and watch them, you see that I show you exactly how you do that. Obviously, a really important question, because it is very useful for us to be able to make sure that we know which ones are contributing to the canvases. I'm coming back again. Sorry about that. I wasn't teaching you that. I was only thinking very quickly showing you the tool. But please make use of my videos. That's the whole reason the videos are there. You can watch me and you can listen to me showing you exactly how to use Linoit, okay? Right, now, I'm sure the next tool I'm going to show you is, I'm going to skip that one, okay, today's meet, just because of time. If we got time, we'll come back, because there's a couple that I want to show that are probably more important. I imagine of you know this tool, but I have to say that it don't. It's just simply imagine like a cork board you have at home, where you've got something on the wall and people can stick things on it. They can pin things on it. So corkboard is basically that. It just allows you to pin things. So that's what lino it is, and that is what wall. That's what Padlet is. They are what we call electronic corkboards. Okay, coming to Edmodo. I know that some of you are going to know Edmodo, and some of you might not. Hopefully, some of you in the room have never used Edmodo. If someone is doing a training course with me, one of the first tools I teach them to use is Edmodo. For teachers, this is so powerful. Edmodo is a virtual learning environment. It's a very simple virtual environment. It's based on Facebook. It's similar to Facebook. The teacher create an account for free, and then each class that you've got, you simply create a class, click a button, and it code. And your students, you share the code with your students, and students can access your class on Edmodo. Access to your class, you can then share links with them, you can share videos with them, you can upload folders with files, things you want them to read, documents you want them to look at, PDF files. You can have discussions on there, you can create quizzes, and only the students who have the code, who accessed your class, can. I can't believe it's free. It's free because I think you'll find that it was funded from something like Hewlett Foundation or one of these organizations in America that kind of encouraging online learning and encouraging it for it to be free. I made enormous use of Edmodo and enormous amounts of success as well. It's a virtual learning environment. You create your own teacher's account. You go to it and you simply create a class. It generates a code. You give it to your students. They can enter. They don't have to use their email addresses. And then they come in and they can make their own profile. So you've got all classes there. And this is where you can share everything. So if you need to share links or videos or pictures, or you want to start a discussion, or you want to brainstorm something, then Edmodo is a fabulous tool doing that, okay? So I'm just going to quickly take you through the tool. So I'm going to share the screen. It's probably one of the tools that these days I'm making more use of than anything. I was just going to close down that one. I'm actually going to have to I'm going to close down Vocaroo. I'm just down Photobabble. I've got all these pages open here, and I'm just going to click and open up Edmodo. Just point out a couple of things to you as I make enormous use of this. You to create an account as a teacher, and I use my email to log in. Okay, I'm actually going to create an account for a class for you, just so you what I mean. Okay, in my password.
As you're doing that, there are two questions. If it is refers to PB Works, and what's the difference with Facebook?
So, just come back. I'll have to. Can we just hold those two questions until I come back? All right. Okay. And I'll come back again. Yeah. I mean, they're really good questions as well. Okay. How much I use Edmodo. If you look at all these groups, these are all different groups. This is just a recent one I've done in Luxembourg, and that was when I was out in Chile working, and then in Poland, and then there's one in Kazakhstan, there's one in Northern Ireland, there's one in Armenia. So all these different courses. Every time I'm doing training, I basically create a group for those people, and then I can use that to share any content that I want to make available to students or the people in my group, and including any folders that I want to share. If I want to share any folders with them that provides them with access, then I can do that as well. I'm just going to move this screen here. It's getting in the way a minute. So it really is very, very powerful because it allows me to basically to share content. Also, the students can do it. So I can write questions, and then the students, it's just like Facebook. You just add something here, then the students can reply to you. They can have their own content, or they can reply to your questions. So you can use it for discussions as well. So let's start by quickly showing you. Let's just take an example. For example, if we go to one of the groups that I was teaching in Chile, you'll see here that we've got the content here in the middle, all different things that we were sharing. Sometimes we were having actually discussions with the teachers, so they could write their answers here as well. You can see that they're adding things onto the screen. In fact, we made really good use of this. We can create polls, we can create questionnaires. So this is the kind of Facebook part as well, where people are just going to add up their content on screen, add up videos, they can add up links, they can reply to your questions. You can also let me just close that down, sorry. It's just encouraging you to connect with other people. If I want to create a new group, and I click here, create, eTwinning. And then I grade for this group, so I know it's what I call it higher education. And a subject, and I'm going to call it computer technology. And then I click on create to create that group. Just quick description, my talk, start of March with the teachers from eTwinning. Click on finish, expected size of the group, so I'm not sure how many of us there are, so I'm going to put 1 to 25, let's put 26 plus. I click on finish and created. Here is the login. And in fact, if I was now just to share that with you, and you were to log in to Model as a teacher, you could come into this group. So I'm going to put some bonus material on here after the lesson, after the presentation today. And if someone makes the effort to log in to Edmodel and to come to the eTwinning group, then I'm going to put on some additional material, including a free book about language teaching and technology. So if you come on, you'll see that after the presentation today, I will add it here. So I'm going to come back, sharing. I'll come back again to Edmodel, paste that code into the chat window. As if anybody comes, excuse me, 1 second. Anyone logs as a teacher, as a student, you need to log in as a student for now. If you do that after the lesson, give me, because I'll need to do this, I will add up a link to a book that's published by the British Council that includes a chapter from me on using technology, and I'm going to give you some links to some other really interesting technologies that you might want to learn. So that's to encourage you how to try and use a model. Okay, you'll see what a fabulous tool it is, and I really encourage you to try and use that. Okay, come back again to share my desktop. I want to take you back to Edmodel and just add a couple of things. So I can do anything on Edmodel. I can send anything to you. I can say put here visit my website and link. Just going to copy the link to my website and then come back to Edmodel. I do is I just choose link. I'm going to share a link. Click attach. I'm going to my, and then now is actually added to a screen. And when you come on, that will be there, and the link will be there. Okay, so I can send that. I could send pictures. I can send, and so I could add a discussion on there. For example, if you want to come on to Edmodel later, I'm going to the question. The question says, what technology and the most interesting? Okay, I'm going to send you that question. I'm going to click on send. So that's been sent to the eTwinning group. So I'm just going to click on there now. Now you come on, all you need to do is just click on reply, and you can answer that question. Just simply click on reply. I'll be interested to see which of the technologies that I've been showing to you today has been most interesting. I have a quick quiz. So I'll do a quick poll for you as well, just show you how I do this. So I'm going to say, have you used Edmodel today? And I'm going to give 2 possible answers, and it's going to be yes or no. Okay, I'm going to send that to you as well. So I've now added that. So you can see how quickly I can start adding content, and all the students can see that content. Now, as the students join the class, it will show me all the members, and I can tell my students, right, add a picture so I know who you are, give some information about yourself, etc. So great for sharing, particularly if you want to organize your content of your course. You want to have folders. If I want to share something with you, I can click on folders here, and I can share folders with you. So I'm going to add a folder. Okay, in this folder, I'm going to put a link to, and in fact, I'll probably have to do this up. Let's see if we have it here. Which council book? Okay, add. That is now there for you. That book that I'm telling you about that's free from the British Council. If you go to the folders when you log in now, you'll be able to access that book for free as well. Okay, from the which is a really nice book. It's got lots of chapters about using technology in language teaching. It's not about teaching English, but of course it's totally relevant. All the stuff that I write about relevant for teaching Spanish and teaching French, because I'd be a Spanish teacher as well. I didn't only teach English as well. So that's Edmodel. That just very quickly again, just a little factor of how Edmodel works and why it can be really useful. And I like the fact that the students do not need to give in their email address. Once joined, actually you're going to have lots and lots of groups. You just simply click on the group that you want to work on that particular day, and then you can, for example, see the members. 7 of you have already joined. Fantastic, look at that. So people have already come into the group. Great, okay, because obviously some of you probably been using Edmodel before, so you can see how very quick and easy we can start to work and share material onto Edmodel. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with Edmodel, if you go to my website, go to the section of blog, virtual learning environment and wikis, and click on there. On the left-hand side, click down, scroll down, and you'll see 2 sets of videos, how to use Edmodel. I take you through absolutely everything about using Edmodel. And as you can see, just from how many groups I've created on it, it really is a brilliant way of sharing content and organizing your classes. It's a safe environment. You're asking why I like Edmodel rather than Facebook. The reason is obviously that students hopefully are on Edmodel. They're not on Facebook, and they're not distracted from often doing other things while they're on the website at the same time. It's a controlled environment, and Facebook isn't so controlled because of course they've got their outside links, their social links. I'm not very keen on the idea of of mixing the social with the learning. However, I have to say that recently I've been reviewing some courses that have been running on Facebook, and they look pretty interesting. But generally, up until now, I've avoided using things like Facebook for language teaching or for anything I've done with my students, because I've always decided that is their social environment, and I don't want to get involved in that. As I said, I'm actually at the moment I'm looking at some courses that are actually run on Facebook, and they look interesting. Right, come back. Green. Breather. I've been speaking solidly for about 15 minutes. Let me just have a quick glass of another mouthful of beer. And does anyone want to ask me any more questions?
Questions are ready for you. Tina says if she can link other site to yours.
You can, yeah.
Yes, can use my teacher account to be a student.
I suppose you can, but I always do both. So if I'm going into someone else, like for example, when I've been in some training courses and somebody, you just log in. You just log in as a student. Yeah, still use your teacher account, but you log in as a student. So of course you need the code of someone else. But you can do that. Yeah. I use Facebook with my students, but I know some teachers are starting to do it, and I'm actually reviewing at the moment a really big course in Chile that was run on Facebook, and it's actually quite interesting. In fact, I'm writing the report at the moment. That is the honest truth. I'm writing it at this moment. It's quite interesting, but I've never used Facebook in teaching. I've always avoided it because I've decided, well, that's a social environment, and I don't really want to get involved in the social environment. Really good comment from Tina saying that Facebook is blocked in many schools, so Edmodo is definitely the way to go. It's got that same feel. It's got that area in the middle of the screen where the students can write and add comments, etc. I have to say, I've been really had some brilliant discussions where I've set discussion questions, and you can get the students to then write in that area. I see someone asking about blend space. I've heard of it. I've never used it. I have heard about it. It's blend space. Is that, yeah? There are these things. There are so many. It's really just learning to get used to the ones that you like to work with. One of the things about Edmodo is, obviously, you've got the videos on my website, and they are very detailed. But if you go to YouTube, you'll also find some quite useful stuff on there as well. I think it's more private as well. I agree with that, Tina. I really agree with that. I don't know how you find me in Edmodo. I've never really linked with anybody on Edmodo, but I'm guessing if you put in my name, Russell Stannard, then I'm sure I will come up Edmodo. Yeah, Edmodo really is about education. It really is about, yeah, I think you'll find that there are actually apps now for working with Edmodo, either on an iPhone or on an Android. I think you can do that. I've not actually downloaded the app for the Edmodo, but when I was working out in Chile, the lady I was working with, I think she had it. Yeah. Times when we come to all this linking up with other teachers on these websites and stuff like that, sometimes it's really nice to do that, but sometimes I actually find it gets out of control. I've already got to deal with all the students that I'm dealing with, and then I've got to deal with teachers who are trying to link up with me. Sometimes I kind of use these tools. I'm very private about Edmodo. Edmodo is me and my students on that course, and that's really the way I work with it, rather than linking across. Because when I link with teachers, I normally link with them on Facebook. So I have lots of links. So this back to the point I was talking about earlier, and that is using the tool for the right thing. For me, Edmodo is about me and my students. So I did it for that. Facebook is about my contacts with other teachers. So is Twitter. So I use it for that. So it's quite interesting the way that we all work with these different tools in different ways. I'm very Edmodo. I've not really used it to collaborate and share with other teachers. I know I can do that. You know, you're really right. It's just like a cut down version of Moodle, but it's one that you as a teacher can run. If you've got private classes or you're in an institution where there's no Moodle or no Blackboard, then Edmodo is a real option. If you can't link to, I would advise you to log out and log back in as a student, and then use the code, because you need to come in to class, or otherwise I can accept you. You might be able to I might be able to accept you if you invite in. But the easiest way, what I often do, if I'm going into someone else's Edmodo account, I'm on a training course and someone has me to go into their Edmodo, then I just log in as a student. I don't log in as a teacher. You might find that to help you. Right, we're running out of time, which means I haven't done the last tool. So I'm just going to quickly talk about it, and you can watch the videos, because I've got the full videos. It's absolutely fantastic. It's called Live Binders, and I do a lot for e-portfolios. So if you read the article that I've just given you, and I'll share the code with you again, and I've got one more thing to share with you. You can, the book that I've just written about, which is the book for the British Council, I think I talk about Live Binders in there. Live Binders is basically a website that we can use to content. It works like a binder. It works like the pages of a binder. Now, Rini, have I got time to quickly show them Live Binder, or are we gonna run out of time? What's the rules regarding time? We've only got 3 minutes left, or can I have an extra 5 minutes?
Don't worry, we're very flexible here.
Okay, good. Right, let's quickly go off. I won't spend too long on it. Okay, one very important thing just to mention, right? All the things I've showed you here are all the help videos, and this presentation I am going to share it with you now. So you don't have to worry, okay? Everything I showed you today, I'm going to quickly get you the link. Everything I've showed you today, the whole of this presentation, you can get that presentation from here. I'm just going to come back now and just share with you. Let's just come back on there. I'm going to put that into the chat window, okay? That is the link to the whole of the presentation and all of the help videos at the end. So you don't have to worry. If you want to learn how to use live binders or Edmodel or Today's Meet or Line or Photo, you click on the links and watch video and listen to me presenting, okay? Just very quickly then, I'm just for a last thing, because I'm also, my video is nearly in a part, I'm just going to quickly show you live binders. Let me show you an example of a live binder. And live binder literally works like a binder and automatically creates these tabs here and add different links and different content onto tabs. It's one of the fastest ways of making a website that you possibly imagine. It really is simple to use. And again, can set it that you can email other students and ask them to join your live binder and to collaborate with you. It's a really, really simple tool to use. Let me just see if I can just come back to let me just see if I can get back to just make the page a bit smaller actually. As well, let's just come back a minute. If I'm live binder, it's to, oh, hang on a minute. Let me close that down. Very quickly. Live binders is basically works by creating binders, and you can add as much to it as you want. To start a binder, you just click here. It's really like one of the fastest ways of creating a kind of website in a way, but it's done like a binder, like the pages of a binder. So let's just put in eTwinning here. Quickly, again, you're going to have to watch the videos. I'm going to make this one public so that everyone can fit. I'm going to create my binder, and you'll see that it automatically actually creates my first tab. I call my first tab Russell Stannard, let's imagine, right? And then I'm going to kind of add something. Now, what I'll do, again, I'm just doing this for speed, okay? I'm just copy from my presentation, just come back onto the live binders. You can do all sorts of things on this one, but just click on here. I just put that link in, click search, and that now becomes a page of my binder. That's simple. It can be videos, it can be articles. Now I can click on another tab and the next one. So let's say I'm going to do my blog. Okay, so then I would need to go off. Okay, let's put this model link. No, the Edmodel link's not going to work actually. Let's quickly go off to here and just go to my blog. Quickly. So if I grab the link from now, come to my binder, put that in, paste, bang, we've got another page. We can add videos, we can add pictures, we can add PowerPoint presentations, and see how quickly it just suddenly, we've got 2, now we can do 3, we can just add to the binder. We can do that binder collaboratively. We go to the settings in the binder, and we can ask other people to join. They have to be logged up to binder. It's just so simple. You can add content from YouTube. I can click on add content. I can upload files from my computer. I can grab content from Flickr or from YouTube. If I click on YouTube, it can even search here. If I just click on YouTube and I just show you, I'm going to put the word funny presentation. I can find, so it goes off to YouTube and it's to find stuff. And if it's that one I want, for example, there, just select it, okay, and even choose a layout that I want that to go into. And then you'll see now that that's added up into the thing. I'll just leave it like that. So let me close that one down, and you'll see now that that video has now been added to the screen as well. Okay, how quick I can do that. I can then have video and have it out so that you have comments on one side and the video on the other, and get the students to write something about the video. I don't like it when students just load up pictures or load up. I like them to kind of actually add something to it. So when you add content, and just quickly go back there. We go to add content. You can actually, I need to do a new tab now. Sorry, let me just add a new tab. So I'm just going to click on a new tab. All right, so we'll just do another one. Call this video. Then if I click on there, just going to click on add content, come back again. So just click on there and do the same thing. We're going to add a YouTube video. Okay, and we'll choose the same, we'll just choose this one, just for, yeah. What I'm going to do is, I can come down here, if I remember right, text out. I'm going to say that I want, for example, the video on one side, and then I want some text on the other. So, for example, I'll do that one now. And yours now, I mean, I haven't got time to do this, but the students would have to add in, let me just close this down, and you'll see, hang on a minute. Okay, you can have some text here on the left-hand side, and then the video here. So we're not getting the students to passively add up videos onto the screen and say, oh, this is a great video. Well, I want to know why it's a good video. Why is it relevant to the coursework that we're doing, etc. Okay? That's called live binders. And we're using this for kind of e-portfolio work. I say we, because the trouble is at the moment is I'm not doing a lot of teaching. I'm tending, as I said, to be doing lots of teacher training because I only work part-time at university. So I admit that of the last sort of 3 to 4 months, I've hardly been using any of this stuff for any teaching as such, for teacher training. But that's live binders. Right, I'm going to come back home, stop sharing. Wow, this has worked really, really well. I'm impressed with WebEx. I forgot how good it is. Worked really well. The screen sharing's been excellent. Use text, pictures, everything. Right, questions?
Russell, everybody is very excited. It was a really great webinar.
Great, good. Really glad. Feature is please make use of the videos, and if you want to follow what I do on my website, there's a newsletter. Everything's free. There's nothing you have to pay for anything. It's all free. But if you do want to follow what I do, sign up to the newsletter on the website, and you get one newsletter every month. That's all you get. One every month where I just tell you the new technologies that I found and tell you a little bit about how I use them. Okay, but the whole site is completely free.
No questions.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for inviting me. Good. Yeah, thank you for. Is everyone okay? Yeah.
It's okay, and I'm registering in your newsletter. I think it's really nice because it's here when you receive newsletter, you can check what's new and what's going on. So I recommend that to the people that are here.
I won't plague you. I just send the newsletter once a month, so you don't get loads and loads of emails from me. You just get one newsletter at the end of the month. Actually, a newsletter, it normally comes out just at the beginning. In fact, the one will be coming out in the next couple of days. Okay? Anyway, thank you very much for inviting me. I really enjoyed that, and it was lovely to see so many people online. And we can do it again another time in the future.
Yes, I would be glad to do that, really.
Lovely.
Okay. That's because we have here, if somebody from here who wants to receive a certificate from the webinar, just send you a link to it. And record the whole session. So I will put the link in our Creative Classroom group for those who want to have a look again, or for the people who didn't manage to be here. I just want to say to the people that tomorrow, we started March, very dynamically. So tomorrow we have another expert talk with Jason from Los Angeles, and to talk about mobile learning and the United in education. So the people who like to join tomorrow, I'm glad to see you there. And of course, thank you, Russell. It was really great. Everybody's writing me the best. You can see that. So thank you very much.
No, you're welcome. Thank you for inviting me. Right, I'm gonna get back to my report that I've got to write. Okay, later on.
Bye.